Hello class, today we'll be looking at how to pattern draft men clothing, and to start with, we're going to start with a basic shirt, which is also known as casual shirts. So all you need is your paper. You can either use brown paper or white paper. So everything I'll be doing here, I will be using a small scale, but remember, all the numbers, all the inches I'll be talking about, or centimeter I'll be talking about, the ease allowance are meant for your own individual measurement. I'm talking about your full scale, your own individual measurement. So if you see me measure 0 point something, and I said you're to use one point something, that's to tell you that I'm referring to your own measurement. So stay with me. So first and first, you roll your lines across and down. You start from the center back. The center back is always from the left hand side. And you have your measurement, your chest, your neckline, your nip to waist, and your shirt length you have back. Your chest, you have it divided into quarter, because we'll be using quarter of the measurements. So quickly do that. Now I have my lines. You can measure 2 centimeters downwards, and on the left hand side of the edge of the paper you can measure 2 centimeters inward as well. So I'm going to start by making this side of my paper A. Are we good? So I'll be using alphabet. Why? Because I want us to easily understand what we'll be doing. So A to B is the full length. The full length, not the full length of the shirt, but the full length of your shoulder to your waist. A to B. So my A to B, this is my B, is the full length of my shoulder to my waist. There's difference between nip to waist. There's difference between nip to waist and shoulder to waist. So don't get it twisted. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to achieve. I want to mark my C. How do I get that? The full length of the shirt. So the full length of my shirt is 36 centimeter. 36 centimeter. And if you want, okay, let me make it 40 centimeter. Let me make it 40 centimeter. Okay, this is my C. I hope you understand what I'm doing. That's my C. Now let's determine our D. How do I get my D? All I need to do is to measure half of my across back, and that will give me half of my across back. I'll measure it, which is somewhere here, D. So now we need F. How do we get our F? How do we get our... So how do I arrive at my F? My F is A to B divided into 2, A to B, or B to A divided into 2. One thing I want you to know is a younger person's shape is different from a matured man. So if you're working on a younger person and you want to arrive at your F, all you need to do is to divide A to B or B to A into 2. For a younger person, or for a young person, you minus 1 1/4. But for a matured person, you minus 1 1/2. So all I need to do is to divide this into 2 and minus whatever and get my F. So my F, you measure from B, my F is somewhere here. So I have my F. Then how do I locate my E? Now this is where you need your nip to waist measurement, which is also known as your back length. So all you need to do is to measure from the measurement, that's your nip to waist. You measure from B upward, that's where our E will. You measure in this direction to locate your E. Remember, this is my E. Remember, you measure from B upward. That's my E. I want to take it down so it will be, I want to square across so it will be easier. All those lines, you take them across. To take them across so we can start drafting proper. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And this is how to use your set square. All these tools, you can get them at WAJUCOUTURE and at Fashion Tools 44 on your social media. Kindly like us, like our page, and if you want to give an advice, we are hoping for your opinion. Thank you. Now to locate our G is on F line. All we need to do is to divide our chest into 4 plus 1 1/4. Then of course I've already ruled the lines across. So what I'm doing now is 1/4 of my chest plus 1 1/4. So I'll take it from here. So this is where my G is. Then B to H, of course, B to H is going to be the same measurement of F to G. Same is applicable to C to I. Are we good? I. So we have A, B, C, D to I now. So the next thing we want to work on is our back width. We want to start shaping proper. So what we need to do is half of our back width you measure from F. That is half of your back width plus ½ inch. Do you get that? Half of your back width plus ½ inch. So this is my J. Are we good with that? Now the next thing is to determine our K. How do we do that? You measure what you have from A to F. You measure it and you divide it into 2. You measure, you divide it into 2. You divide it into 2. Can you see that? So you measure what you have F to J. This is K. You measure what you have F to J on K line. Then you rule it. You square it across. I hope you're following. Now let me take this up. Take it up here. Take it up like this. Okay. So I'll make this K1, and for us to have we need to divide this into another section so we can have our shoulder line. Now we've gotten K and K1. For us to arrive at L, all we need to do is to measure the measurement between A and then K. Divide it into 2. You divide it into 2. Yeah, you divide it into 2. You divide it into 2. Just somewhere here. So that will be L. Then you square down, square across. So this is L1. Are we good? L1 will serve as our shoulder line. That is where shoulder line. Let's continue. You understand what I'm saying, so don't let me. We've gotten our L1, L2, L1. Remember, you can see they are all on the back width line. Now we want to determine our L2. All you need to do is to measure from here 3.5 centimeter, 3.5 centimeter, which is somewhere here. You can see L1 upward to L2, then L2 to L3. You will use, like I said, L2 to L3, you'll be using 1.5 centimeter. You'll be using 1.5 centimeter. So I'm going to mark it down. This is L3. Are we good now? So we have L2 here. This is where L2 is. Let me cancel this, and this is L3. So now we need to determine our neckline. Already, this is our he, this line. We want to determine our neckline. All you need to do is to measure your neckline, the circumference of your neckline, divide it into 5. So 1/5 of it you measure in this form. You take it in this form. So I'm going to make this place M. Now you can either connect M to L3, or when you do that, okay, let me just connect M to L3 in this form. This is our shoulder length. But if you realize that your shoulder length is more than this, all you need to do is to extend it. It's very simple. All you need to do is to extend that. Remember, this is the center back. That's the center back. Now we are done with the neck. We are not done with the neckline. The next thing you're going to do is to determine the angle. You determine the angle. Of course, you know, I'm working on a small. Is to determine the angle. I hope you can see what I did. Now, on this side of the angle, you are meant to measure 2 centimeter. This is a diagonal line. You have to measure 2 centimeter. You measure 2 centimeter, and when you measure your 2 centimeter, you use your curve in this direction. You curve it out. So our center back neckline is ready. Our center back neckline is ready. On J, you rule out, you draw out a diagonal line just the same way I did this. If you have this kind of master curve, you can as well do this. Just ensure it's sitting well in it. This is the diagonal line I'm talking about. Can you see that? Then you measure 1.5 centimeter. Yes, you will use 1.5 centimeter. 1.5 centimeter. Remember, I'm working on a small scale. So the next thing you're going to do is to connect K1 to that angle at J. You can see the way I'm using my curve. Okay. Then I'll connect L3 to K1. L3 to K1. You blend it in. You blend this into, of course, is a small scale. So we should have a perfect good. So you connect this on a straight line. We are almost done. It's very simple. You connect on a straight line. Now is to shape the body. All you need to do from H, you know this is the waistline. All you need to do is to measure 1/2 inch inwards. So all you need to do is to measure 1/2 inch inwards here. Then you connect to G. You connect to G, and on high, you take it in by 3 inches. From high here, you take it in by 3 inches. 3 inches. Then from C, you drop it by 1 inches. What I'm doing is just to shape the shirt, the center back. So you connect the waistline to this side of it, and you do same here. Do it here in this direction. Can you see what I just did? It's very simple, very, very simple. But if at the end of the day, by the time you finish drafting, you realize that the waist is very, very big, you know, we didn't had what's it called, ease allowance. All I did was just to use your measurement straight. You can choose to add your ease allowance, not sewing allowance. The difference between ease allowance and sewing allowance. So now that we are done with this, we'll quickly look at the center front. It's almost the same thing for the center front. Of course, it's almost the same thing for the center front. All we need to do is measure like we did. You know, we added some seam allowance. Take the lines down so it will be easier for you. So you say G to F1 is the same F to G here. You can just quickly do this. You do this. That's, we'll be making it F1. The same measurement we use here, we are going to, of course, if you remember, we took it down. We do same here and the same here. So I'll connect like this. So F1, H1 and I1. I hope that is clear. We have the same body. Then you also take this across because you will need it. You will take it across because you need it. So of course you take this upward. You take it up. First thing first is to determine, just the same way we determine the back width. You do the same thing. You can quickly measure, not to waste your time. You can quickly measure like that. Can you see what I'm doing? So this will be J1. That will be J1. So you take this line up. Remember J1, the measurement you have here, you take it here too. Take it here too. You connect. Can we see that? You connect. When you connect that, you need to drop it down. You need to drop it down. You need to drop it down. Drop it down, or better still, you can hold on. All you need to do is go to A1. We want to locate the neckline. Now what do? The circumference of your neckline, you divide it into 5. But this time around, when you divide it into 5, you're going to subtract 1 centimeter from it. Yes, you're going to subtract 1 centimeter from here. So I'll make it M1. And the circumference of your neckline, into 5, you measure it downward, yeah, and somewhere here too. You connect it this one. This will be E1 and this two in this direction. Can you see what I'm doing? So now for you to locate the angle here, I mean the level of your chest here, all you need to do is from E1 to to F1, measure whatever you have, divide it into 3. 1/3 of it you measure somewhere here. You measure somewhere here. Then when you do that, you measure inwards 1.5 centimeter. Are we good? 1.5 centimeter. Now you can extend this line. You can extend this line. When you extend, this shoulder line, you can extend it. Where you extend it, you know, you follow. You can root this up, you know, so to guide you. Now, when you do that, you're going to drop it by 1 centimeter. You drop by 1 centimeter somewhere here, which will go in this direction like this, because the shoulder slant is coming towards that side. So all you need to do is measure what you have on the shoulder, on the slant of the center back shoulder. Measure what you have there so you can have accuracy. You do the same thing here. You do the same thing. Sorry, slight correction. You're not meant to take 1 centimeter out. It is from E1 you are taking the 1 centimeter out. Sorry. So you take it back. This is the original E1. I'm so sorry about that. I was just looking at my calculation as in the pattern. I said this is looking funny. So somewhere here. I'm so sorry. So this is my M1. This is not it. So of course it means that for your level of your chest, you remeasure what you have from E1 to F1, divide into 3, or 1/3 of it. Let's say that is it. So like I said, what you have from M to L3, you do the same thing here. You measure this direction and you take it out like this. It's looking like a bodice, but it's a bit different from bodice. So you still measure your 1.5 somewhere here. 1.5 centimeters somewhere here. But if you by the time you do that and realize that the 1.5 is too much, you can reduce it to 1 centimeter. No law that says it should be that 1.5. So let's locate our diagonal line. Let's make our diagonal line. Or you can create an angle there. So here you'll be using 1/8 inches. Yes, 1/8 inches. 1/8 inches. Then you connect your armhole in this direction. Can you see what I'm doing in this direction? You know, I'm working on a small scale, so don't say, it must be like this. So I've corrected it. I've corrected mine. So please ensure you do the right thing. That is why we are doing all we can to give you a perfect video. Okay. So shape your neckline in this way, this format. Okay. So The same thing you did here, you do it here. Taking half inch, connect to G, and then to that 3. Can you see? Now, of course, you have to measure. You need to measure the 1 inch here, but before that, I'll make this the left. I'll make it both. Okay, let me just make it the right one. The right. That's the front right. Why is because there's an extension. So the first extension is 3/4. Sorry, the first extension is half inch. I'm going to explain what it's meant for, half inch. But of course, this is you're using half inch here. Then the next one, which is going to be the button wrap and the button hole itself, you'll be using 1.25 inch. 1.25 inch. This is the center front. Now this is the fold line where you will fold this into. I hope you can see that, where you will fold this into. So I'll quickly so you can now measure your 1 inch here and connect it. Though when stitching you have to do some, can you see that? So it is, these ones are going down and down. So this for the center front, center back. Remember, front right. So I'm going to create the front left is just going to have the button wrap extension, which is 3/4. The button wrap extension is 3/4. It's something like this, extending the center front. So I'm going to show us now. Now you can see the front left. Yeah. So all you need to do is to extend it by 3/4. You extend by 3/4. That is where your button will rest on. This is your where the button hole will be. And of course I'll take it down and connect like this, just the same way I connected here. So you are using 3/4 inch here. So this is your center front left, your center front right, and of course the center back. So I'll be showing us how to pattern draft the sleeve and the short sleeve precisely, and the collar and the rest of it. Thank you.